everyone, and welcome back to St. Francis TV. My name is Deb Royals-Mazurk, and I'm so grateful to be back with you as we continue our series of interviews with founders of this beautiful community that we call St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church. We have a very special couple with us today. I'm going to swing it right over to Ed and Diane. They're going to introduce themselves, tell you the year that they joined St. Francis, and a little bit of what brought them here. First, to you, Diane.
Hello, I'm Diane Hoffman.
And I'm Ed Hoffman, and we came to St. Francis in July of 1983. I'll tell you a little bit out of our journey. We were married at the Sacred Heart downtown, and slightly after that, in a number of moves with my business, I worked for the State Employees Credit Union. We went to Asheville and found a little parish called St. Barnabas, which might be the littlest church I've ever been in. And we were there for about a year and a half, and the people were very, very friendly there. And then we moved to Greensboro in 1981. And we went to St. Paul the Apostle Church, and I'll let my wife Diane tell you a little bit about what happened there.
Okay, it was a church very similar to St. Francis. It was out in the woods near Guilford College area. We had a great experience. The priest there was fantastic. We had our first child at the time became ill and was hospitalized, and for a long period of time we didn't know that she would live. And the priest there was with us night and day, and she did live. She is referred to by the staff there as the miracle of 1982, and she continues to be our miracle. But the priest was so fantastic and supportive and with us, and the entire church community. So it gave us the sense of the belonging and the support and all those features that you look for in a church that you attend, and the kind of church that you want your children to grow up in and your grandchildren, as we have now. And then following our move back to Raleigh, we found St. Francis and found that same sense of community, support, inclusiveness, and knew we wanted to be a part of it. So we've been here since July of '83 and continue to love it.
All our children were, our oldest two were baptized, one at St. Barnabas and one at St. Paul's, and the last one, our son, was baptized here. They had their first communion, the confirmation. The girls got married here. Eddie got married at the beach because that's where his daughter was from. But it's been a part of our life and part of their lives as long as we can remember, and it's just been so great. And one of the things that has amazed me about St. Francis is the fact that, when we got here, it was a little bitty church in the woods, and there was maybe 150 or less people here. And now there's 5,000 people, and yet you still feel that friendship, that inclusiveness. You feel God everywhere, and it's just great to come to church and feel that every week, even though it's so large. Everybody is friendly. It's amazing that it has been able to maintain that.
Yes. What was it like? I often wonder, what was it like? And I think this is important because history is so important to be marked. What was it like in those first couple of years here? What did it feel like?
Well, it felt like a family, and everything that is done today by professionals needed to be done by the parishioners. We were still paying for the church, and so when we had a spring and a fall session on a Saturday where all the maintenance in the yard was done, we put out pine straw, we pulled all the weeds, we did that, and it was a fellowship, and you got to meet everybody on a different level and a different time, and you had fun, and the ladies made lunch, and we had lunch, and it was amazing. And I can remember Eddie always coming with me because he wanted to be here as well to do those kinds of things and just be part of it. And it was just amazing how it had to be done that way. And we came up as a community and got it done.
Another thing with the growth of the church and particularly the preschool and the school, having grandchildren here now that attend the preschool and the school, we've seen that kind of growth and the development not only in the church but in our own family and the involvement that they have in the church and the schools. It's just been good to see that growth and to see our grandchildren and children have developed and that being such a meaningful part of their lives and making them the adults that they are now. It's just a good feeling.
I would love to know is there a story or a moment here at St. Francis when you, as a family, bore witness to the presence of Christ in a way that was profound for you?
I think that we had a daughter who had scoliosis, and that was very, very difficult. And we went back to our foundation and belief in God and His helping us, and it got us through that time period. We also had Eddie, who hopefully sometime you'll meet, had a premature baby. She weighed 1 pound, 7 ounces, and without the depth of our faith, I don't know that we could have gotten through that.
And a family community
that was there for us, yes.
So there is so much that is integrally important with regard to the work that founding members of a church or any organization. It's so important to mark that and talk about it. And what I'm hearing is in your family, there is now a legacy you can point to that is directly linked to what happens in your family today. Yes, yeah. You have children at the preschool, at the Franciscan school. Your daughter-in-law, Shannon, works at the community center. Can you talk a little bit of what that legacy means and other ways that continues to play out?
Well, God and fellowship and community has always been very important to us, and our ability and to have that seen in them and going from generation to generation is it's just so enlightening and so fulfilling. It's something that just makes us very, very proud of what we did.
Yeah, and I think a lot goes back where we grew up too. Ed is from New Jersey, a small town in New Jersey. The church there was very central to their life. There were 6 children in their family, and his mom went to Mass every day, and so he grew up with that strong sense of belonging, community. I grew up in a Baptist church in a small town, and my family was very active in the church there as well. After we got married here at St. Francis, I converted to Catholicism and went through all the processes there. So it was Father English was here at the time, and so we just felt the way we grew up with that sense of belonging to the church and being a part of the church and having it in your life, was instilled with us, from the beginning. So we wanted our children to have that same foundation, and I think they do.
Wow. I was just thinking, you were probably one of the first RCIA.
I think so. I was.
Folks, that's amazing.
Yes.
So if you could import a message or send a message or share something with the future the young people that are here at St. Francis today, what would you share with them? What's a message you would share?
I think the message I'd share is how important God and community is in your life, because things won't always go as you want them to go. Mm-hmm. And when you need them, they'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would say the same thing. I think it's the church is our guiding light. Christ is our guiding light. You want your family and your children to always have that same sense of, having that guidance in their life and the support that they need to get through those difficult times, like Ed said, and the good times. All the celebrations like we've had of the marriage and the Eucharist and the baptisms and everything else, to celebrate that with our family is important. So, it's just a foundation that is critical, to our well-being.
Oh, that's so beautifully said. I think what we bore witness to today in this discussion is just the presence of Christ in your family as a result of your faith, and staying tightly tethered to a church community. And we're very grateful that you decided this was going to be one of the communities you would be a part of and help to build up and start as a founder. I'm deeply grateful. I'm deeply, deeply grateful. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to continue to have these interviews. And from what I understand, is we might get the whole Hoffman clan here. We're working on it. So along the way, we're going to be able to meet and talk to the children of this beautiful founding family and hear their words about how being a part of this community and being in their faith has impacted their lives. Thanks so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in the future. Again, take care and a blessed Easter season to everyone.